Let me start with a simple question. If you are a data professional today, a data engineer, analyst, scientist, do you feel more certain about your career or more uncertain than you did 5 years ago? We are living in one of the most exciting periods in the history of technology. AI is advancing rapidly, data platforms are evolving, automation is changing how systems are built. And yet, many data professionals I speak with are asking a deeper question. Where is my career actually heading? This is a powerful quote by Alvin Toffler that I often come back to. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. For people working in data, this quote feels more relevant today than ever before. Welcome to the Data Career Mastery Podcast. If you are a data engineer, data analyst, data scientist, or anyone working in the data space, there is a good chance you have experienced this at some point in your career. You're working hard, you're learning new tools, you're keeping up with new technologies, and yet something feels unclear. Maybe your career feels stuck. Maybe you're unsure what skills will actually matter in the future. Or maybe the rise of AI is making you wonder where this industry is really heading. Over the last few years, I have had hundreds of conversations with data professionals across different organizations and different stages of their careers. And one pattern keeps showing up again and again. The biggest challenge most data professionals face is not technology, it is direction. Think about it for a moment. How many tools have appeared in the data ecosystem in just last 5 years? New platforms, new frameworks, new architectures, and now AI is starting to change how engineering itself is done. It's very easy to fall into a cycle of constant learning without clear progress. You learn another tool, you take another course, you add another certification, but your career doesn't necessarily move forward. The greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, it is to act with yesterday's logic. Many data professionals today are trying to grow their careers using yesterday's playbook, and that playbook is quickly becoming outdated. This is where the idea for data career mastery was born. I realized that many mid-career data professionals are extremely capable technically, but they often lack clear career framework for how to grow their careers in a meaningful way. And this podcast is my attempt to help change that. The goal of this podcast is not just to talk about data tools or technologies. There are already so many podcasts and YouTube channels that do that really well. Instead, this podcast focuses on something deeper. How do you design a career in data that remains relevant, valuable, and fulfilling over time? Because here is something that I have noticed that's something interesting. The engineers who grow the fastest are the ones who understand systems, decisions, and impact. They know how to connect technical work to real outcomes, and they continuously evolve how they create value. To explore this idea, the podcast is built around 3 core pillars of career mastery. The first pillar is, of course, technical depth. Technology still matters, but the difference between an average engineer and an exceptional one is not the number of tools they know. It's the depth of understanding they bring to systems, understanding architecture, understanding trade-offs, understanding how data platforms actually work. Technology will continue to evolve, but deep technical thinking remains valuable across generations of tools. So in the upcoming episodes, we will explore top technical skills that are emerging, skills that are fading, and the ones that are taking different shape. The second pillar is professional practices. This is the part many data professionals underestimate. Your ability to communicate your ideas, influence decisions, and connect technical work with business outcomes becomes increasingly important as you progress in your career. Many talented data professionals remain stuck because they only optimize their technical execution, not the strategic impact. A bad system will beat a good person every time. If you want to grow your impact in your data career, you must learn to design and influence systems, not just execute tasks or micro focusing on smaller tasks. The third pillar is a very important one, which is a resilient mindset. If I put it in simple terms, it's all about living from inside out. The data industry will continue to change. AI will automate parts of engineering work. We all know that. That's all coming up. We can clearly see that. But the professionals who thrive in this environment are the ones who understand their core values, their why stronger, align their career roadmap to their unique strength, and above all, with the solid self-image. If it sounds vague and unclear, stay with me as we explore this master key that holds all your treasure in the upcoming episodes. This podcast is designed to explore these three pillars through real conversations. I'll be speaking with data engineers, AI engineers, data and AI leaders, practitioners who are actively building systems and navigating these changes in the real world. We'll talk about the moments they shaped their careers, the mistakes they made, the skills that actually helped them grow, and the decisions that helped them stay relevant in a rapidly evolving industry. I want to highlight an important aspect. This podcast is not just about listening to interesting stories. My goal is that every episode leaves you with something practical, a new way to think about your career, a skill you might want to develop, or even a small step you can take in the coming weeks to move forward. Because I strongly believe that career mastery is not built in one big leap. It's built through small, consistent improvements over time. If you are someone who is early in your career and trying to understand how this industry works, or someone who is already mid-career and wondering what the next phase of your journey looks like, then this podcast is for you. In the coming weeks, we'll explore interesting and insightful topics like how AI is changing the role of data engineers, how to transition from technical execution to strategic thinking, what skills will matter most in the next 5 years, and how data professionals can build careers that can remain meaningful and valuable in the long run. So if that sounds interesting to you, I invite you to stay with me on this journey. This is Data Career Mastery, and I'm your host, Shankar. Stay curious, keep growing.